Our special focus at this hour, rising child suicides. Well, this raging debate has come back in focus after the Supreme Court has now ordered the government to, in a sense, ramp up measures and also submit a report as to what really are the measures that the government has taken, particularly in the past 4-5 years. In fact, it was the Chief Justice of India himself who raised the alarm over rising child suicides. In fact, the NCRB report really points out to some very shocking facts, including the point that 13,000 children, 13,000 young adults, including students, committed suicides or died by suicides in just 1 year. And this number is up by 2,000 in just 12 months. And in fact, exam pressure is among the top causes of child suicides. On the 10 o'clock news this evening, we ask, with the supreme SOS on child suicides, has India failed her children? Joining me on the show this evening, I'm being joined by Veda Chopra, a child psychologist. Advocate Anubha Srivastav Sahai, President of India-wide Parents Association, is also with us. Dr. Sangeeta Sharma, who's the Director of Childline Lucknow and member of the National Board on Artificial Representative Technology and Surrogacy, and ex-member Child Welfare Committee Lucknow is also with us. Thanks very much, all of you, for joining us on the 10 o'clock news. Going across to you first, Dr. Sangeeta Sharma. There are still glaring lapses as far as, the society's response to child duress is concerned, which is why year after year we see these absolutely shocking numbers. 13,000 children died by suicide in just 1 year. Where does the buck really stop as far as this is concerned? Have we really failed our children? Dr. Sharma, I'm afraid you're on mute. Could you unmute yourself?
Sorry. There are a lot of problems, and now the fuel, we see that there are a lot of problems. Not only the problems, now the fuel is added by the, by the fuel added to the fire by the digital and cyber crimes which are taking place. And these children, they are very ambitious. They have hardly anyone to talk to them. There is a gap between, the communication gap is there, because of which many times the children, they do not understand what are the problems, how to solve their problems, and how they can overcome their problems with the help of adults and their even the peer group. And that is probably the reason why suddenly they find themselves very much isolated, and they have nothing but they feel it is easier to commit suicide rather than to face the challenges. And this is gradually increasing because of lot of new things which are coming up. We see the kind of atmosphere which is there in the country. Lot of avenues are there, but again, at the same time, lot of problems are there to reach up to those avenues. And that is probably the reason why the children feel themselves at the end where they are not getting what they actually want to get it.
Yes.
And that is probably the reason why they are facing these problems.
And that is some level of empathy and perhaps a healing touch, particularly, in the early years of adolescence. Veda Chopra, come in on this. How do we as a society normalize, taking therapy, and perhaps also a more empathetic response to a vulnerable child? Because we must also acknowledge that not every child has the privilege to seek therapy. But, as all the stakeholders involved in it, whether it's parents, teachers, peers, how do we become more empathetic as a society towards children? Because, let me also point out here that the NCRB report says that exam pressure is among the top causes of child suicides.
I think I would want to refer to a funnel effect. We have a growing population of youths. We have a handful of prestigious colleges. Every child wants to get into the best college. And then we have even fewer employment opportunities, who prefer, of course, children from those prestigious colleges. Now, if we put in social media into the mix, there's peer pressure. There is pressure from parents. There's internal sense of pressure, because on social media, everybody seems like they are successful. So we throw in all of that. And when a child comes to us and says that, I'm not feeling okay, or I wish I wasn't here, I wish life would just end, we kind of minimize their problems. We say that during our times, we also had to struggle. Don't be weak. Look at that other person. They're also struggling, but they're really, really strong. Try to be as strong as possible. We have become desensitized to the term depression. When some child comes to us and tells us they're feeling depressed, we say, आजकल सारे बच्चे depressed हैं. With the smallest thing, you will get depressed and you will call them triggers, and you will use words like trauma dumping, and you will use words like trauma, which are high words, and you should stop using them. We are minimizing, we're desensitized to this problem, and we're not really listening to children when they're talking. So
Okay.
somewhere we need to have awareness workshops for parents, for teachers. We need to start destigmatizing mental health care and seeking opportunities for that in any sphere. So that's my take on it. I just feel like we need to take these statements seriously, and we need to see these warning red flags.
Right. So
Seriously.
trivializing the problem won't really help is the point you're making, and that's an important point there. But Anubha Srivastava Sahai, as somebody who works with children, as somebody who's worked in child rights for so long, there seems to be a systemic problem as well. Even when you look at CCIs or childcare institutions, there are glaring lapses and gaps there as well. So how do we go about tackling these problems, and addressing these loopholes? Because of course the Supreme Court has also asked the government to, in a sense, enlist all the measures it has taken in this area, because there has to be some sort of a systemic change, some sort of a more coordinated response to this, because not all these children are privileged enough to seek therapy.
Actually, thanks for having me on this show, and this is one of the topic which I'm really, me and with me along with other associations, we are raising this issue since the past many years. And I'm glad that Honorable Supreme Court has taken a cognizance, and Honorable Chief Justice is quite worried about this issue because the cases are rising. Pan India, the situation is same. The students in schools and in colleges are in pressure. As one of the panelists said, that one of the main reason is exam, and there's a lot of pressure, peer pressure, pressure from school. So there are a lot of things, pressure from parents also. Majorly because of lack of awareness, the major concern which I see is because of the lack of awareness among parents, especially in rural areas and remote areas where parents, they don't know how to tackle these problems. And even in urban areas also, parents are not aware. There's a lot of communication gap between parent and children these days. So because of the communication gap, now parents are also busy. Students don't know what to do. So we have been insisting and we have been requesting and appealing the government since many years that let there be an awareness campaign. Each and every stakeholder should come forward. But that is not happening on ground level. At ground level, it's not happening.
Right.
And even in the budget, I remember that budget also, our Honorable PM Modi ji is very much concerned about this matter, this issue. And he has even in this budget, even last year also, they have given some reference to this mental health also.
Right.
But allocation to this mental health. But that is also, again, implementation is not happening. So what I would request...
So awareness and implementation are the two key areas where we can work on. That's an important point there.
Implementation in the sense, I would like to say that, see, why implementation is not happening? Because awareness is not happening. How we can bring the children and teachers and parents at one level is that what government can do once the new education policy is implemented, they can incorporate all these mental health issues. Maybe they can come up with a subject right from first standard onwards, right from primary. There has to be a subject on mental health.
We need some sort of a change, fundamental change at the policy level is what you're saying, and that's important there.
Yes,
Dr. Sangeeta Sharma, as somebody who's worked with Childline, the SOS response to a cry for help, does that need to improve as well as so many factors now come into play?
Yes, certainly. This at times children call up and they are on the verge of suicide. We need to help them then and there, because unless and until that is usually suicide is a moment, and the moment if you turn that moment is gone, you can save a child. And that is what has to be, what is required. And that is the reason why there should be a suicide helpline as well. so that if the child has this thing in mind that I have to commit suicide or I don't want to live anymore, at least he has someone where he can call and talk.
So
that at
intervention
least
has
he
to
can
happen at the
overcome.
right time. Intervention at the right time is very
Bilkul.
important. I have the last 30
Yes,
seconds.
it is very important.
Veda Chopra, to you as somebody who as a young therapist who works with children, are children not able to keep up with the changing times, given the fact that now you have virtual reality, you have social media, and so many factors at play?
I think the question is not if they're able to keep up or not. The question is the lack of support from their, peers, from their family, from their social system, that they're not being able to understand the pressures that have been put because of the changing times.
Right.
Like I said, it's just this pressure cooker that is building up, and all they need is a catharsis. So if we can give that space for a catharsis without being
I think that's a very
judgmental and
important
without,
point.
yeah, without saying things like, हमारे समय पे हमने भी struggle करा था.
Right.
These times have changed.
So times have changed, and space for catharsis is very important, and I hope we can create those safe spaces for our children. Thanks all very much for joining us on this very important debate this evening.